right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started. Recording started.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin, and we are on our tech board. With me, we have Gary and Natalia, and let's begin. Gary, you're sharing your screen. Okay. Yeah. So we'll go over what we're going to discuss today, which is future of work is AI. We have other topics that we will cover on focal boards such as audio, email client, continue, um, authentication, cost to save policy, VM cluster, website developer, and up to verify, key clock versus WSO2, monitoring to review, and then we'll also talk about the next steps and actions that we need to take. So I'll begin. If you scroll up, I'd like to talk about future of work is AI a bit, and also Gary will talk about this in detail. We recently onboarded Dixon, and he started working on this project. We have our focal board for this project where all the tasks that he's working on are listed. So
Yeah, I want to find it to show. So the boards.
yeah, it's just above
Okay.
tech board active projects, just above it. Yeah, future of work is AI board. It's
Oh, I see. I see. Got it.
yeah.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, so these are the projects that he's currently working on, uh,
Mm.
starting with LinkedIn, and then he'll progress
Mm-hmm.
to lists of organization, email,
Yeah.
uh,
Mhm.
GitHub
We
event.
he again he needs to clarify like LinkedIn. It's like his LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, or like Kevin's LinkedIn, and this organization will be a part. So like this is a marketing product, and this
Yes,
organization should be like a marketing campaign, and
correct.
this should be a part with should be like connected with Odoo, right?
Yeah, yes,
Because we will do like marketing campaign we will do on in Odoo. We have no any other option,
correct.
no any other like tool which can be suitable for this.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, let's go.
All right. Yeah, you want to talk more about this project. I'd like to welcome you to proceed.
Um, I like the project. I like I would say I was not sure about their speed, but if Dixon will kind of is joining because Dixon didn't connect with me any
Mm-hmm.
longer, and in my view, we should have kind of we had one discussion together with you, but it should be like a little bit more of work, kind of more
Correct.
intense.
Yeah.
So I like my major concern is the speed because we need to move.
Sure.
And if we can get the speed, it should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with the speed again, like other problem is Odoo, email, Odoo, um, and generally like the websites will be helpful too when we have the website. But we will get back to when we get back. But
Yeah.
let's move on right now. Let's go to another topics.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay.
Unless Natalia has any questions or concerns about future of work as AI. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the next topic I had listed is Odoo. Something that we are to talk about. the current
Let,
status.
let's use like focal
Mhm.
boards to get
Okay.
through the like technical things, and then we will be
Mhm.
checking. I see right now, like for the record, I will say that we have like two different developments. So
Yeah.
we use kind of social, which is CNM Cyber Social, which soon will be just CNM Cyber with no social. And we use CNM Cyber Social, which will be just CNM Cyber, to schedule
Mhm.
the meetings, to put like meeting details,
Correct.
um, and to put general agenda. And I
Yeah.
offered Kevin, and Kevin liked this idea before our meeting today, that instead of like duplicating like projects both here and in focal boards, we will just
Mhm.
put like active project discussion, and we will switch to focal boards, and then we finish and we get back for closing, right? But
Yeah.
today, since Kevin already did it, we will use his agenda as we agreed, kind of just to check whether we covered everything in our focal board, right? It's what we
Yeah.
talked, Kevin.
Correct. Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, let's go with the tech board active projects, and I put some of them several times, like some of them. So
Mhm.
and I will be going kind of as fast as possible, but I need your contribution because all of my kind of my points is for us to decide on. So
Yeah.
like the first project is farm approach to consider. So what I wrote here, and I had discussion with Kevin and I had discussion with Natalia, but I want to make it kind of on the record official. So guys, I would like us to consider a new approach to our farms. The Bureau farm, which is the Proxmox HA cluster, should host the most sensitive apps as the HR proxy, HomeHub, Applet, and Odoo in production. It doesn't mean that it should be like all Odoos. It should be maybe like one Odoo, but the main one, the one which we use for like for sales. But
Okay.
what I particularly say is like HR proxy because we
Mhm.
don't use HR proxy as of now, but our Bureau farm is really like it built. It's kind of the best what we have right now. It has like a firewall, PF It has many like email address, oh sorry, IP addresses, and I would love us to take advantage of what we are kind of spending, paying of this like piece of technology. That is why I want to put like our HR proxy like there,
Mhm.
um, and applet, of course. So
Okay.
the rest right now we call lab farm, which is a standalone Proxmox. It is not clustered, but it is still like good like server, dedicated server,
Mhm.
which Natalia set up with the RAID, which is redundancy. I forgot how RAID is spelled, but the first letter is redundancy, meaning kind of it has two disks. So like the second disk is always copying, like the first disk is always copying to the second disk. So if the first disk will fail, we can restore. So it is not like HR, not highly available, but it is kind of it can be used, um, be restored. So, and I plan right now to put as much as possible to our what we call like lab farm, which is standalone Proxmox. Um, but and as it grows, we may add another server later. But
Mhm.
I feel what I feel is that like buying VPS, just VPS, how we bought like in Contabo, like
Mhm.
to make these clusters is not like financially is not feasible, because let's say on Contaba we had like three VPSs, each cost like $30. So like we pay $30 for three, but in Hudson we purchased kind of let's say for $40, much bigger server with much more resources and better speed and better everything. We may
Mm-hmm.
not have kind of SSD, and so let's say if we have only like limited kind of for VPS, maybe it makes sense kind of at some bracket. It makes sense just to take VPS. But generally, if we use this Proxmox kind of, we can create our own like VMs. It's much better for us. So that is why I plan to basically to put emphasis on like these two Proxmox, like Proxmox parts. One is cluster, which we call Bureau Farm, and another is
Mm-hmm.
unclustered, which right now we call Lab Farm. Later, we may add another server and restore our campus farm. But for now, like it makes sense to try to use the one which we have as much as possible. But what I propose on this like lab farm, which is not HR by itself, is if Proxmox fails, it will fail. And Proxmox sometimes is failing. And we had like our biggest failure caused by Proxmox back in 2016, before our
Mm-hmm.
project started. It's like I was involved in another initiative. Um, but Natalia remembered this. Natalia just came, and it was like maybe in a couple of months our Proxmox failed. What I want to do, I want to on this like lab farm, I want to create kind of VMs and cluster these VMs like in three. Make like instead within these like VMs, make highly available. If one VM fails, so like others will continue. This is what I propose. Um,
Okay.
the only issue which we may need VPS, it is a
Mm-hmm.
monitoring. For monitoring, if we want to monitor our, let's say, Proxmox, it's kind of like from the engineering point of view, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense to put like our monitoring VM or whatever on the Proxmox which we monitor. So we may use either Hetzner VPS or Cantaba, keep like Cantaba VPS for this. Just maybe
Okay.
to degrade. We don't need like that big.
Okay.
What do you think about this? It's a kind of good plan. It's a good approach because if we decide that it's a good approach, we will just make it as a policy. What do you think? Or you have questions?
Yeah, I think it's a good approach, especially such that it's going to be highly available, like Odoo, Oplet, CNM, Cyber. Yeah.
Everything will be highly available. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
applet HR proxy will be sitting on our clustered Proxmox. So
Mm-hmm.
then, if one Proxmox fails, it will
Yeah.
still kind of be working. Other will take its job.
All
But
right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but on the lab farm, all other applications will
Mm-hmm.
also be highly available. They will be not available only if the
Mm-hmm.
Proxmox fails. So then we will
Okay.
be restoring them. But if like a single
Mm-hmm.
VM will fail,
Yeah.
applications will still like be available. So at least like this is at any rate, this is the next level. Whatever we
Mm-hmm.
do, it's anyway,
Yeah.
it's the next level. Because right now, let's say MediaWiki is working
Mm-hmm.
well, really well,
Yeah.
but it's still
Yeah.
not highly available. So with this approach, we will have an even better service, right? We will have
Yeah.
even better, stable, highly available. So
Mm-hmm.
the only risk will be if Proxmox fails. But I will say from my experience, Proxmox will kind of can fail like I'd say once in 2 years, right? Once in 3 years. So
Okay.
it's kind of the probability is pretty low.
All right.
That is why I don't want to put like a sensitive. applications on the lab farm.
Mm-hmm.
Natalia, what do you think? Did you get kind of this idea? We make kind of like our official policy, or what is your take?
I think this is a good idea, and we will work on it.
Do you have anything to kind of to add, or
No.
no?
Mm.
Okay, so let's do it as a completed. Let's move like to a completed, right? So we
Okay.
make a decision, and right now, instead of to consider,
Mm-hmm.
um, let's
It's
call it
decided.
like is approved,
Okay. Yeah.
right? Is a
Yeah.
policy. whatever we call it will be kind of there. Okay, let's go further. Lab farm to reimagine. It is kind of, I touched it a little bit. So like my goal is, and we had this discussion with Natalia, my goal is to all applications in production which we use, we need to move to clusters, to VM clusters, not like farm cluster, but VM cluster. And
Mm-hmm.
here I posted I copied my communication with Andrea Milamina. He's our kind of contractor who work on our HR proxy. And
Mm-hmm.
it is what I wrote to him. It's a copy. I said like I offered him several like steps. Like
Mm-hmm.
first decide on our policy for VM clusters while answering the questions like, would we like to have one cluster for one application in production, for instance, one WordPress, one cluster, group of similar applications in production, for instance, all WordPress as one cluster, or all of the applications in production that use the same type of database. For instance, all applications that use Galera, one cluster. Then number two, we have several applications that they are not in production, such as MediaWiki and Moodle, that we retired. They should go in one cluster since they use Galera. All of our VM clusters will be located in Soho Lab Farm. We will discuss this. And I propose HR proxy to put on Bureau Farm, and we already discussed this too. So we may need two HR proxy VMs at least, one for production on, let's say, Bureau Farm, and another for experiments on maybe like Lab Farm. And as soon as we resemble a new architecture, we will move to its monitoring. Uh, Andrea Milamina didn't reply immediately, but he replied today. He said, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking a look at this, and we'll get back to you as some schematics on my advice. I really like kind of his approach to documentation. So he didn't
Mm-hmm.
put like when he will get there. But my kind of right now, what I propose us to discuss is uh, since it's already kind of like we may be kind of waiting for his kind of response to decide this. We need to decide what our policy, how we will cluster this cluster, how we will cluster these VMs, in which way. Someone has kind of a speaker open, so I hear my echo. Right? Okay. So we had the discussion with Natalia, and I asked ChatGPT to provide kind of ChatGPT input
Mm-hmm.
uh, on this, how we should cluster VMs. ChatGPT basically said that it depends on your needs. If you like, let's say, more clusters means more stability. But this more stability is coming with the more expenses, more costs, right? What you prioritize? You want to prioritize costs or like, or more stability? I don't really have the answer. Natalia tended to say like last week that probably we can put like many of them together. Maybe like number 2B, group of similar applications in production, for instance, all WordPresses. And then yesterday we talked and Natalia said, but if we really, really want to have kind of peace of mind, it maybe makes sense to put like one application, one cluster. But at the same time, we're clustering them to have them highly available, right? So if it is like highly available, so they shouldn't fail as kind of, at least like they may fail as they are failing right now, but we don't need to kind of to see this failure. So I will probably go with something like one cluster, like something like B, group of similar applications in production. Um, but we probably like, let's say for now, it is kind of the discussion and maybe just like wait for our contractor's response, what he thinks, what his
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
So should we put it on hold? Or Natalia wants to add something? Natalia's...
Have some problem, and I don't hear what you ask.
Yeah, I said like right now, like I had this communication with Mr. Monch, Monsieur Monch, and kind of he said like he will take a look and get back. So I'm proposing to put this project on hold, to wait until like his response.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mr. Monch help us a lot, and
Yeah.
and we
Yeah,
can.
and then as soon as we decide, we will need to decide how we will go with this. So like who will do actually kind of this work, because it is kind of we need to set up HR proxy at least like one and the raw farm, and we need to start creating these cluster all this application. So it's kind of a chunk of work. I definitely like consider kind of using him. So when he is ready, I plan to maybe invite him to join us to discuss this, so we can have kind of a separate tech board specifically for lab farm. Does it make sense?
Okay. Yes, of course.
Okay, let's go. Cantabile to retire. Um, so right now we used to have 5 VPSs on Cantabile. Right now we left only one, which we are using right now. So this employable U is there. Um, so I'm not sure. Like we have like 2 different options. We can. Um, I'm not sure that we need kind of that instance that expensive. Maybe we can go with this simpler one, and to have like a monitor in there. So like to try to use Jitsi on our lab farm, um, and but we need to have VPS somewhere for monitoring. So I'm not sure whether it should be Contabo or Hetzner. But I definitely want to retire DigitalOcean, because DigitalOcean is pretty expensive in comparison with Contaba. So on DigitalOcean we have our applet, and we have applet.net mail, right? Um, I connected with kind of Natalia said that she will need help with the applet. So I reached out to Clovis, and Clovis said that he's available. He can help us.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
so Natalia, how we should go with this? Should we go it now? Should we kind of because I want to move. I want to set up a separate VM on our Proxmox cluster / Bureau farm and to move applet there, to move applet there, and to get rid of DigitalOcean like instances. What do you think?
I think we can prepare a VM for Clovis and transfer LDAP, and then he can do uh, something that we can transfer, and we
So
describe.
like, so there are like couple of items, right? Work items. So you will prepare VM on our bureau, right?
Right.
And so Clovis will be, we will ask Clovis to move it there, or or he will move kind of on his own, and then, or we will be moving together with him, or how will it be?
No, I will move our LDAP in this VM, and
Aha.
and and if we can have we don't have access to the word from LDAP, we can ask Clovis to help us and make TLS certificate.
Mhm. Okay, so basically, like what I understand, so we like this project, and you will try on your own, and then we will ask Clovis to take a look, right? When we kind of have issues, right?
Uh, right.
Okay, let's do it. So, so Cantaba to retire, let's put right now on hold. Digital Ocean to retire will be in
In
progress,
progress.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we have many in progress, and we're already 34 minutes. Um, oh my. We will need to decide also. I will move to the next to the next meeting. We will need to decide. I see advantage to have some VPS outside of Proxmox. So the question is whether it will be VPS, will be Hetzner VPS or Cantaba VPS. This is kind of related, right? Probably I will combine these two projects instead of Cantaba to retire and Hetzner VPS to retire. Like which VPS to leave, right? It will be kind of this way. So then this is the big project, Applet Web to build. And on this project, so I modified this project. It used to be like WordPresses, right? WordPresses to launch, something like that. So I changed there, I added a little bit. So I renamed this project to Applet Web and describe it here. So this is kind of the page which describes everything, kind of state of our of this project. So the idea is that we need to have like some people, some experts on web development. Um, so what I plan that we will have kind of students when we have students, but the students should be matched with the experts, right? So my plan is to start building kind of this expert pool, which right now I plan to hire freelancers or maybe companies, agencies, um, which will be like we will have kind of expert on web designer, we call it kind of web designer in residence. So they will be helping for now us to build our web, and
Mm-hmm.
further they can help kind of serve as a mentors to our team, potentially, possibly. So
Okay.
I put advertising just for manager search. I decided that if we find a manager, so then with the manager we can help. Manager can help us with the rest. Uh, I posted it on Upwork. I have like
Mm-hmm.
11 responses. I didn't use any invitations yet. Upwork gives like 30 invitations. I didn't use them yet. I had some responses. I would say kind of like a mixed bag, but there are a couple of good people whom I really like, and some of like professional people. So
Mm-hmm.
my question is how we will go with this, how we will select the person. Do you want me to add you, kind of, Kevin? You will go through my communication, or Natalia will take a look to how to go with this project. This is kind of my main question. How to select people. What do you think? Do you want me to add you as recruiters?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes?
yes.
Okay, so I will add both Kevin and Natalia, and you will take a look, and how we will go. We don't want, I don't want to move it to the next week. We need to kind of to move maybe faster.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, when you like, should we have like another meeting kind of, or communication on focal board?
Yeah.
Should we do like a focal board specifically for this project? What,
Sure.
Kevin, what is your take? How we will go with this?
We can do like another meeting for further discussions of this project, and then from there
So
on we
what
can build both.
Yeah. So what if we will take this, like, create a separate board for this,
Mm-hmm.
like, applet web, right? And
Yeah.
the person whom we will select, we will add to this board. So we
Mm-hmm.
will be communicating together specifically on applet web, right? Does it make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
I didn't separate. We have many, like many websites, right? You can see
Mm-hmm.
them. Both of you, Natalia and Kevin, you have kind of like, you can see them.
Yeah.
You can play with them, by the way. You can delete some website and try to build on your own, whatever, like do whatever you want. But our
Okay.
kind of, my approach, what I propose is that initially we develop something somewhere. I'm
Mm-hmm.
using Wiki right now, but it
Yeah.
can be something instead of Wiki. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have for mockups, we have these AI-powered website builders, but eventually we will need to move them to WordPresses or something else as a construction efforts. Because when we have WordPress, we can give people specific, like, again, Hostinger gives either to access to all websites like I gave to you guys, to Kevin and Natalia, but we cannot give this whole big access to everyone else, right? We kind of, it doesn't make sense. We need to give people access to their websites specifically. So that is why we need WordPress or something. And this person will take a look, at least like say how we can go, which site we will be kind of moving, how themes we'll be using. So it will be kind of some active project. I believe it
Okay.
should be like some separate board, so we can add this person.
Sure.
So
Sure.
what we will do, what we will do. So let's say Kevin, you will take a look. You will create kind of a board or something for specifically for applet web, right? And
Yeah.
then let's say next week or somewhere, or we will create a separate meeting and we will
Mm-hmm.
go over the candidates, maybe invite
Yeah.
someone, maybe
Mm-hmm.
you, Kevin, will have discussion with someone,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of and move to and make a decision. What do you think?
Okay, good idea. Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Natalia, do you want to add anything?
No, no, everything
No?
you said.
Okay, cool. Okay, so on my side, I will add you as a recruiters to this project. Um, Now, what else? What we have kind of on our focal board? Description, close. Uh, we are running out of time because it's like 42 minutes. Like but I plan to discuss maybe next time. So like
Mm-hmm.
these projects, like Mattermost. Right now we have this Mattermost, but it is sitting on like taiga. What is white taiga? It is kind of, it's not, I even don't know where it's sitting, where, which lab, which farm. We need to make, if we decide that we are using Mattermost, and right now we
Mm-hmm.
are, and it looks like it's working for us, so we need to make it kind of better, right? At least
Yeah.
like to put to like a more stable links and so on and so forth. So I propose to discuss it next time. Um, Also, kind of another topic is applet. Um, it's a big topic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I wrote here, regardless of the fact that applet.net is the oldest part of our system, is still far from finished product. I would like us to discuss stabilizing LDAP, adding SSO, considering key clock, etc. So I asked ChatGPT how we can add SSO2. Uh, in short, you can see the track on the wiki. I posted what ChatGPT answered, but the main idea is first of all, there are several other LDAPs. We use Open LDAP, but there are a couple of LDAP instances which accommodate SSO. Or
Mm-hmm.
we can just like use LDAP as our database and add key clock or WSO2 identity server. 7 years ago, when we considered this, WSO2 identity server was kind of the best solution on the market. And we tried, and Natalia set up like this VM. I believe it's still there. It's still on
Yes.
our lab farm. Yeah. But, and she succeeded to add, like I remember, WordPress, but we had some difficulties with something. When I researched Upwork, I found kind of the most proposals. It was few of them, not many. A few of them, and people were asking about like $500 per application.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, when ChatGPT told me about Keycloak, I don't know how to pronounce. I clock, Keycloak. So I researched and I found like so many developers, and I went to Upwork, and some people charge like $300 per project to plug all our applications. And people say that Keycloak is simpler than WSO2 identity server. So I really want to consider like to try and to hire someone. I don't think that it's a good idea for Natalia to do everything,
Mm-hmm.
um, because it's kind of like it's a learning curve, and it's better. It's probably will be faster to move with someone else. And what also good with the Keycloak is that it has kind of its own like themes. You can develop a theme. So let's say people will open their, let's say, mobile phones or whatever they want to like. For instance, someone is coming to cnmcyber.com. and
Mhm.
they say, okay, authorize, like, or register.
Mhm.
He or she clicks like on login or like sign up, and the key clock is opening, and we can customize the theme. It will be showing kind of something which we want, like education or whatever. And the
Mhm.
person use key clock, kind of put kind of the kind of data, and it gets back to this application. So it sounds like interesting, I would say. So
Yeah.
right now we probably don't have time to consider. I want to consider next time. What else? Monitoring to review. And we added this with Kevin. And I wrote at the moment we have some monitoring that Mohammed set up. I also recall that Natalia once set up Nagios, right? Natalia is still alive.
Right.
Nagios,
Oh,
is it still?
I uh,
We
don't know.
we forgot about it, right? At least we don't use it. Yeah. So kind of. However, we are missing many tech failures, right?
Yeah.
So our monitoring needs to be improved anyway. So I
Mhm.
propose to talk about this and kind of to decide how we can improve
Mhm.
our monitoring. But the problem exists, right? At least
Right.
we don't know what we have. We don't know what we monitor. It was kind of some clustered. We did something. I cannot say we didn't do anything. We did something, but something which we did need to be improved. Okay,
Yeah.
I tried to wrap up in 3 minutes, at least like my part. Cost to save. Kevin, you need to have a policy, and we will archive this policy and we will use this policy with whatever. But I
All
don't
right.
know why it's in progress. It should be kind of somewhere. Elementor
Mhm.
to retire. Thanks, Natalia. Delete. Completed. Let's put it
Mhm.
completed. Um, it's good. CNM Hub to MVP. Kevin, like, I don't know what is the kind of their idea. Jitsi to MVP. It's also a good idea because right now we use this employable U, Jitsi.employable U, and it
Yeah.
has kind of, when we get to our Jitsi, it has Jitsi logo. We need to at least like to consider how to move it.
Mhm.
Prepare WordPress transfer to Hostinger. Completed. Thanks, Natalia, too. Um, email. Oh, email. We need to talk about emails.
Yeah.
Natalia, like when I kind
Yes.
of ask what is there, but when I go to Hostinger, right? This is my kind of account on Hostinger. I set up like 2 mail servers, right? And when I click here, manage, let's say, future of work as AI, and I want to set up, like, create a mail account, right? And I
Wow.
click create a
Class. Mhm.
mail account, and I
Okay.
put like my email name, and I will put, let's say, like Gary, for instance, right?
Mhm.
And whatever like they give. And then I click like create, right? Oh, okay.
Duplicate.
Yeah, let's put like Gary too, right? For instance, I'm making for the sake to kind of to see what is there. And now it asks me, you see, it asks me like
Mhm.
figure out apps and devices, optional. Create. Oh, it's optional. Wait a second.
Mhm.
So should I add kind of a client? Gmail, Thunderbird. Have you been here, Natalia? Or
I
Kevin?
prefer Thunderbird and maybe we have web application. No.
I don't know. I want kind of
Press
it is
press
what it
other.
is what I it is what I it's what nothing on the other. They give kind
Nothing
of
on
Mhm.
like
that.
when they no, they give kind of like our IMAP up SMTP settings, so we can kind
I
of use the
prefer
ports.
for my own. I prefer Thunderbird.
again, like what I want
Choose
you,
standard.
I want you to kind of to explore and try something, because we need to
In
kind
my
of try
account,
on
I
your own.
have not these options in email. I can't manage and create email account.
Okay,
No.
so then you need to explain how it will go. Wait a second, webmail.
Okay. Webmail. Oh wow.
Oh, okay, got it. That's cool. So we don't need to use it. It's optional. We can use just like webmail here, right?
You're right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Okay. So now I'm fine. I'm fine for now.
Okay.
And because I thought I missed this. It was optional. So okay, so we're good. So we can kind of set up webmail there. We don't need to
Mm-hmm.
have kind of any if someone needs to have this client, because my perception was that they don't give a client. They set up like our mail server, but we need to plug our own clients. But if we don't need to, it's optional. So we're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And and
I'm happy.
we should check email account and send email on site mail tester and check rating of email.
It is kind of you're an expert. You're an expert at that. It will be a cool idea, yeah, to check whether, because I see like when to create the ticket, they ask kind of like, oh, my mail goes to the spam. So we can, if it goes to the spam, we can connect with them and kind of to ask them to do something on their side.
Okay.
Okay, probably we are talking too much. You need to kind of shut me down right now. So, because like I can go over and over and over, but we need to save something for the next week. Anything else?
Odoo. We need to start using Odoo.
Yeah, we need to start using Odoo. Like you like what is how Natalia is doing something on Odoo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we had a small issue with Odoo. The application was inaccessible, so we installed a certificate. They
Uh-huh.
were difficult with this because the application is behind PF Sense. Now the
Ooh.
application has started to crash periodically while I'm dealing with it, and I turn off because because my email has many letters that Odoo is crash.
Yes. I'm getting this like notifications as well, and I've seen crashed up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But do you want us to connect with Mohammed?
No.
No.
We can analyze logs of Odoo and then decide what to do with it.
Okay. So what is kind of the decisions? We just wait for you to resolve, right?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Or I'm clicking stop recording. Let's take a look what was on the social. Odoo, authentication talked, cost to save policy, VM cluster, website developer, LDAP bureau, Keycloak versus monitoring to review, next steps and action items. Good session. Anyway, we are moving faster than I would say for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
we need just like to keep going. We missed like a Sandra, right? We didn't touch
Yeah.
Sandra. What is
Yeah.
going on there? Because
Yeah.
it's
So
also kind of
Yes, Sandra is not available this week. She had some engagements at home, but next
Oh,
week
okay.
she will be available.
Okay. So
Yeah,
should we end now, Kevin? Like I'm done.
sure. Yeah, I think we can adjourn at this point.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kevin. We improved our meetings significantly. And Natalia, and yeah, we are moving. It's good progress. See you guys around.
All
And
right.
let's click on stop recording.